Mm-hmm.
It's not counting.
We're on.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Hello. Hello. It's not answering me.
Is anyone in there?
Oh, it says answer me. Yeah. So
So do we want to introduce ourselves? And
yeah, we can. We absolutely can. Yeah. So hi. This is Conversations with
Chris
and Crystal. Good to see you again. And we're off and running in a conversation right now, and we decided to pop it in here real quick to share with everybody else. Dealing with a friend of mine who, well, actually, I
start from the beginning.
yeah, I told her that I really wanted to press into the Holy Spirit more and find out more about the gifts of the Spirit and things that can happen with that. And she pressed me for
An explanation.
Well, yeah, what exactly does that mean? I mean, do you want dreams? Do you want visions? I mean, what do you want? And at this point, I'm open for whatever comes, and so it's just been exhausting. But one thing that keeps coming to me when I'm talking to her, she is going through a divorce after 41 years, and she can't forgive him.
And she really needs to do that, because I found, there were people that I could not forgive for the longest time. And I finally one day realized, number one, forgiveness is not about, oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
Because it's not okay.
Right. No.
Forgiveness is about setting yourself free.
Yes.
From
Yes.
whatever it is they did
Yes.
to you. So you just say, if you can just forgive them, then those chains fall away and you don't even have to think about them anymore.
Right,
But if you don't
right.
forgive them, they're constantly on the back of your mind and you're just like,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah. Joyce Meyer put it really, really well. She had a sack of potatoes. She said, you have a sack of potatoes and an empty sack. And for everybody that you haven't forgiven, you take a potato, write their name on it, and put it into the new sack.
Oh.
And you just keep doing that.
And then you cook them.
And then, I know. Then you carry them around with you everywhere you go. And they're heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, so you're carrying this weight around with you, and then it gets slimy and rotten, and they start to rot. And she said, and then you stink. And she said, and that's what happens when you keep unforgiveness.
And the worst
yeah.
part is that those people that you haven't forgiven probably don't even think about you
They
at
don't
all.
care. They don't
Because
care.
they didn't care when it happened. They don't care now.
Yeah, it doesn't affect them, but it does affect you.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're holding bitterness, I think is another aspect of it, because
Oh, yeah.
you become bitter and you're holding on to that. And the saying of "let go, let God," that is to forgive. He has the ability now to go on your behalf even and take care of those people. But if you're going to stand in the way and hold on to that grudge or that bitterness or that anger or frustration, he can't do anything until you get out of your own way. And so that's what's really important there. So that's where the forgiveness comes in. To forgive them for not being the way that you wanted them to be, that frees you and that frees me. And we're done
It's
with
so
that.
poetic.
Thank you.
I have found too that since I've forgiven people, that God has really come into my life
Yep.
more and more, and has shown me things
Yes.
and given me
Yes.
things, and I wouldn't trade that for anything.
I think you can't hear as well
No.
when you have unforgiveness, because that's just biblical. I mean, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Jesus was on the cross; people were killing him, and did he go talk to them and say, "Excuse me, can we work this out so that I can forgive you"? No. I mean, I'm trying to understand the concept of people saying, "Well, no, Crystal, I can't forgive them because it's not fixed."
And they never said they were sorry.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
another one.
They will
Yeah.
never say they're
No,
sorry.
they never will. It'll never happen that way. So I understand forgiveness from a real root, deep level. I mean, as far as my wanting the Holy Spirit to speak to me, that was a very strong vision that I had years ago about forgiveness. And now I can't forgive enough people. It's like, okay, forgive them. But but it's interesting, because like my husband says about there's a TV evangelist that came to our church, and he just rubbed me the wrong way, and it just didn't work for me. And I think his personality, the way that he presented himself, just totally did not work for me. And I was okay with that. It was like, no, it doesn't work for me. I'm sure it works for a lot of other people. That's great. And my husband always says to me, "Oh, your favorite guy is on the TV," and I said, no, I don't want to listen to him. And he says, well, are you ever going to forgive him? And I said, oh, I can forgive him 100 times over, but it doesn't mean I want to listen to him.
That's right.
I don't agree with him. It rubbed me the wrong way. Doesn't mean it's good for not good for other people. I'm not going to, bury him under that, but you just forgive them and move on and say, okay, that didn't work for me, and that's okay. But you have to do that. You have to forgive people, because that helps you to let go.
Well, not only that, but like we were saying, it frees you up so you can hear and see and do so many things that it's kind of tough to explain, but it really frees you up so that God can work with you and through you. And so
anyway, so it's really important to forgive, even if even if you have to do it with your teeth gritted, even if you have to say, I forgive you, the 70 times 7 that the Bible talks about, forgiving people and letting it go. It's not yours to carry around.
Yeah, and that's why God said, I forget how the verse goes, but lay your burdens on me.
Oh yeah. Just lift everything up to me, and I will take it from you. And
And for me, I had to say it before I felt it many, many times. I had to say, I forgive this person.
That's a good one. Say it before you feel it, because
this person.
We can't go by our feelings in any aspect.
And eventually, you say it enough. It's like that old thing about, if you repeat a lie often enough, you believe it. If you say you forgive someone often enough, eventually you will believe it and mean it.
Yeah. You just have to start somewhere and start dealing with it.
You can't wait until you feel like it.
Yeah, that's the most important part. That's another thing that I've been working with too, is the feelings thing. I think as I've gotten older, I've allowed the feelings to kind of get in there, and the spirit is being pushed off to the side, and I need to... no reason to deal with this. No reason to have all this stuff. I mean...
Do it first, feel it later.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, just go for it. And but I think that's a little bit on forgiveness and how important it is, and what people... the more you can do that, the better off you'll be. I remember when we are going to talk about teachers, and I think I went a long time not forgiving the teachers. And even though I still want to ask them, why were you as difficult as you were to deal with, because they're only human, so what are you going to do? But I think, I had to forgive them. And that does open up a lot. That really clears a lot of headspace and space. And
It's like when you clean out old things that you don't use anymore, get rid of it, you feel lighter. And it's the same with when you forgive people. You feel lighter and more like, woohoo, I got energy.
Yeah, I got places to go and things to do and people to see, and I don't have to worry about them anymore.
Yeah.
I think that's it. It's not in your best interest and forget about that. That's another feeling. I would say it's just not where you need to be spiritually, to be not forgiving people and letting things go. Because God will work on that on your behalf. And vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, it's not yours.
And so much energy can be wasted just obsessing about this person and whatever they did to you or didn't do to you or whatever.
And letting that go.
Just let it go.
Yeah.
Just let it go.
Let it go. Yep.
Let it go. Yeah. Let it go. Oh, never mind. Nobody wants to hear all that. Again.
But, so anyway, that was just one of the subjects that we just were having this conversation on. I thought we would film it and share it with other people. And so we will chat again soon. And remember,
take care of yourself because nobody else will. Bye.
Bye.